couldn't understand how someone that I had spent 25 years with could toss me out like a piece of trash, just a piece of trash. And I couldn't deal with it. I tried to kill myself. I tried to commit suicide. It was not successful. I got home from that suicide attempt and he started in on me right away. When the house was going to get sold, I was a real estate agent. When was I going to get it ready? When was I going to get it sold? This and just bombarding me and bombarding me.
Sean, not to cut you off, how did he react
That's a great question because
to the suicide attempt? Did
I'm
he
going to
take
give you
any accountability to
no,
your
none.
your breakdown?
No, I'm going to give you an example of how he handled it. I was home 3 days after my first suicide attempt, and I had a second suicide attempt. This one, I made sure I took enough pills this time that I was not going to survive this one. I drove to a secluded cemetery and I was found by a preacher.
What?
Found by a preacher. I was put on a ventilator and was in the hospital. When I came home from that one, he called me and he said, I remember. He said, Sean, and I said, yes. He goes, you need to, he was starting to tell me, you need to do something. And then he goes, heard him take a breath, stop. And he goes, how are you? Like he had to force himself to ask me how I was. And I said, I'm fine. And he said, good. He said, when are you going to get the house on the market? I said, I need some time. I need some time. I just have 2 back-to-back suicides. I'm very weak. I
Wait,
need a little bit of time.
wait a minute, Sean. He said to you while you're in the hospital,
I
put
just
the
got,
house on the market ASAP.
yes, yes, it's better. Said, after I said, well, I need a little bit of time. I need some time to recover. I've had 2 back-to-back suicides. He said, I'm going to have you declared mentally incompetent. I'm going to have the house listing taken away from you, and I'm going to have you put in an insane asylum.
Wow.
And I said, okay. So I'm sure our children would like to know what you would like to do to their mother. And he said, I never said that.
How were your kids during the suicides? Where were your kids and how did they react to all of the stuff that was going on?
Not very well, obviously. They did not and still do not understand that they don't know what happened to their mother. Their father convinced them that their mother was unstable and an alcoholic. In truth, I was being abused by a very abusive man. There was a time when I said to him, I said, you are trying to convince the kids that I am mentally unstable and I'm an alcoholic. And I remember the laugh. It was very wicked. He laughed. He said, you're doing that yourself. I played right into his hands. So when you're being abused, you're just trying to survive. You don't know, you want the pain to stop. You don't know how to make it stop. You just want it to stop, whether it's self-medicating, whether it's suicide, whatever it is, you don't know how to escape. Every which way you look, every which way you turn is a dark hole,
Right.
and you don't know how to get out of it.